Let's create a budget. Let's get out of debt. Let's build wealth.
Guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we will get into actually designing and creating a spreadsheet. I'm calling it a bill spreadsheet. It's not really a budget spreadsheet. It could be used for velocity banking. It kind of incorporates different. It's a little bit more than just a normal, bills list and what you pay. So let's jump into this. So guys, this is going to be a little bit different. I've never done this before where I'm kind of creating this, for people to see. So, you may find value in this video, you may not. Just a heads up, it's just a lot of moving things around and kind of designing and just creating a spreadsheet for people who want to know how to do it. So, going back to kind of the layout and the brainstorming we did on creating this, I kind of like it to look kind of like a dashboard. So usually the first thing here will be your family name, and then the layout is basically going to be I'll start with these columns because it kind of helps me gauge on how much room we have. Here will be basically status, and then we have the auto pay, or we'll just put due date, and we'll put in the description, and we want it to have minimum payment, and we'll add in the balance due. This will be the total line, or you can just put value here. And I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. I think that's all we'll need. And then we'll have, let's see. So I'm going to select all of this. I'm going to change this font probably to a Arial black, and let's do, one problem I had was I might have to make this smaller. So I'm going to double click up here. Let me move this up. Okay, so if you double click up here, it'll kind of move it out to where it's even. Okay, so status, we need to have our income, and this is kind of a wide screen, so I don't want to go too far out here. So just kind of start to do this, I'm gonna probably make it go to about here. Let's go to here. Okay, so I'll go to here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this black. This is going to kind of be like the information area, and then we'll have, I usually like to leave I'm going to insert a line here. I like to leave a little space in between this. If you wanted to unfill this, you can unfill this. You'll just select the little fill thing and go to no fill. And then this, I usually like to make this kind of, since these are kind of like the headers, I'll usually put them in kind of a grayish. And then start filling this out. What I usually do is I'll go off page. So I go off page. This is going to be my data validation. So we'll put the first, second as far as the dates. And then once you have those two, you can drag this down. There's 31 days in a month. So once we get to 31st, this is something that I've learned, that there's different. So we have bi-weekly, and then we have monthly. There's bi-monthly. This could be like um, this could be like for some water bills are like bi-monthly. There's semi-annual, and if you're using this for yourself, you probably wouldn't need all of these. But the more and more I work with people, there's a lot of weird payments sometimes that come up. There's biannually, annually itself. And if y'all see me spelling words and stuff like that, sometimes I just go with the flow and then I do the spell check. Biweekly, monthly, biannually, semi-annually, annually. I think that's all. We'll do a spell check. That. Oh, should it be annual? Semi-annual. Biannual. Or annually, doesn't matter. Okay. And then, so this will be, and another one that I recently added was IP, because what happens is, when I was working with people, or when I'm working with people, sometimes when we're going through the list every week, they're going to do it after we get off the call. So I kind of have an in process. That way we know that we need to check that. This will be for the income field. So we'll start with status, and we'll bring this down. Some people have a lot of stuff, so we'll just bring it down to about 50. This I'm just winging it. I mean, we'll go to probably maybe even 57, since we're starting on 7. We'll go to 57. So I'll create this, and then we'll give this a data validation for status. This is going to tell us whether or not this is paid. So I like that. Well, you can go up here. Let me put the full thing on here. So we have that highlighted. We'll go to data, and we'll go to data validation. We're going to use a list. So that list is going to be yes. I always like to leave a blank. There's not really a need on this one. It's yes, no, or in process. So once we do that, we select OK, and what that does is now it changes this to, it gives them an option to choose what they want to put here. So now that we have that there, we want to due date. We will do data validation. Same thing. We'll come down. We will go up here to data validation. Again, we want to use a list. You have to create this list. You click in here first. And we're going to do the first through annual. Then that is also going to, now once they find their due date, choose that. And so something we need to do here is look at our longest one, which is semi-annual. And I'm not going to give due date a lot of space. We want to format this. We want to come in here. Right, we want that to fit. So we'll right click here. We'll go to format cell. Or actually, yeah, and then we can go to font. You can do it that way, or you can just go up here to font, and we'll change that to where that one fits. Now that one fits, it's a little bit small, but that depends on personal preference. The thing is, I want this to be able to be seen the entire sheet. So another thing we can do is click this little arrow, it highlights the whole page. We're going to center everything. Okay, so Description, this is where we can make a list. You know, I like this if I'm working with clients because that way it gives them an idea if they forget something. But I'm not going to add it on here. But you can make a list. Well, let me just, it's the same concept. You just write mortgage, rent, electric, whatever you want. You'll write it there. And then you'll do the data validation. Minimum payment, balance, value. There's no data validation needed for that. So, um, so that's basically how it works as far as family name. See how it's kind of off right there. This family name, we're gonna, depending on how much room, probably do 3, I guess. You can highlight 3 because we want it to show here, and we'll merge and center that. And that's where you'll put Smiths. You'll enter your family name there, whatever you want to put there, your first name, family name, however you want to do it. So now that we got this kind of started, description, we will give that some more room. Status, give that a little bit more room. The due date, just a little bit. Minimum payment, I like to, you never know who you're going to work with, so I like to go to at least a millionth place. I add one more, so that way you know what it is. We can format these cells, since all of these cells right here are going to be currency. We'll format this to currency. So now, go to the millionth place. If you don't have a million now, you may have it soon, especially if you dedicate it and you follow all this stuff. Description, I usually put like, that gives them 20 spaces there. Okay, so we got pretty much that done. As I think I'm going to stop the video here. This video shows you basically how to do the data validation. We'll get into more designing this more in the next video. If you found value in this, I would appreciate a thumbs up. Guys, if you want to leave comments below, if this is even interesting, I don't have any idea if people like to see this or not. If you like to see this, just leave a comment. Found value in it, I would appreciate a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video.